Hello and welcome to Kump.
Hello.
Hello, Lucie.
Hi.
You're wearing a stunning jacket. Is that made out of human skin?
Thank you. Probably, yeah.
It's
It looks too good to not have some real pain in its background.
It looks like some burgundy person
Yeah.
was slaughtered by the Supreme Court or one of the detractors, and you've donned this jacket.
Yeah.
In the blood of Christ, in the nave of the womb, peace be unto you. It's a nice jacket.
It's a strong jacket.
It's a strong look. It's an aggressive look. Welcome to the show. That spring is why does this keep? We need better things. If anyone, I want one of these that drills into the table. They don't drill into the table. I don't like the fact that it clamps.
Yeah.
I need to spend $1,000 on a mic stand and then do a bunch of illicit drugs. You don't want to specify because I don't get content ID or whatever. Google AdSense. The Illuminati of YouTube. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want them shutting me down. Welcome again to the show.
The arbiters. Do they just do a thing now where it's like anything that's kind of could be politically controversial? They're like,
well, I think last week's episode was a bit controversial. We got a little,
That's true.
It was a bit, it was a little heavy with the, I mean, they didn't say we couldn't be there.
Yeah.
They just said we don't really want advertisers having to see this.
Fair enough.
We don't have to explain to Charmin toilet paper while you guys are ranting about that subject, which I won't mention. I've been censored, and now I've been, what's the word when you avoid censorship? I've been hobbled. No, what do they say about someone who self-censors after they get slapped on the hand?
Yeah. We're experiencing the
icing effect. The Duncan Hines icing effect. How about we get Duncan Hines as a sponsor, the lovely cake brand who makes the cakes and the cookies and the icing that goes on them, and we have a featured podcast sponsored by Duncan Hines about how we've been iced out of controversial subjects for fear of losing $3s of dollars a month, $4s of dollars.
Yeah,
it's not very much money. We're not that big of a show. The days of Casey Neistat and the Jonas brother, or who were the Floyd brothers. Who am I thinking of?
The Floyd brothers.
No, who are they? The boxing boys.
Yeah, the Paul boys.
We got into this too late. They're younger than me, but I decided not to live my life on the web, and I'm paying for it now, like an elderly man.
Yeah.
Who shunned computers with his fountain pen. I am now the supplicant of not lesser men. They're probably better than me, but younger men. Yeah, I should get a job with one of them. Just cleaning toilets or something. Probably, it's just job stability.
Yeah.
I gotta learn from them, and what I gotta learn is humility.
Yeah. That's how it works now. You gotta we do our creative pursuit on the side, but then our day job is, getting smoothies for bigger podcasts.
I'll clean toilets with my mouth. And you go, why would you want that? Who would want that? Wait. Because then wait. You're saying, who would want, like, that's actually kind of disgusting. Like, I have a wife or a girlfriend, I have kids. My brother's kids come, and they don't want to see, I don't want you to be around as a man who cleans toilets with his mouth. But look, it's a power move. You have over your CEO friends, your friends, from Napster who make money. Or other corporations,
yeah,
and you have a venture you're planning, and you go, hey guys, I want to show you guys something. You show them, here's the terracotta archways, and here's the Fabergé dome, and here's a candle, and you go, I want to show you something else, and you bring them towards your master bathroom. And you open the door slowly, and they see me hunched over a toilet, just licking and spitting. I need to spit to get some moisture, and I'm spitting and licking in the toilet.
Would you be dressed in kind of like a full butler getup?
No, maybe a baby's bonnet. And he just says I pay him to do that.
Yeah.
This man has no dignity. I basically am. He's just, you know. I mean, he probably wouldn't say I own him because in this country, especially, there's terrible deserved connotations for that, right? You won't say you own someone anymore. I never would, but these people. But I'm just saying. But he will. I'll do whatever he says.
Sure. I mean, how much do you think? How much do you think he would pay you to do that? Just for the status.
$40 grand a year.
40 grand.
Yeah, but I know it's coming in. I know that money's there. I can plan for my future. And most of it is going to be eating the toilet.
Right.
But
any health insurance? I mean, it's a pretty dangerous job, I would think, for your health. So
I mean, I feel like he'd be a good guy. He'd respect me enough, perhaps. I do good work.
Yeah.
And if I said to him, hey, like I have this wound on my leg, you can just like kind of poke something in there and bleed the pus out. He might say yes. But no health insurance per se. per se. Is that? I mean, I just picture an infection, and he has to let the pus out,
right?
And then he docks my pay for a week. But you know, at least I'm alive.
Yeah.
And this is my future.
And 40 grand might not seem like that much to do such a debasing job.
Horrible. I mean,
but you get that client. You get a client like Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And then all the other celebs are gonna want that.
Right. I'll be the toilet eater of the stars. I'll be the toast of the town. I'll be the cote de jour. Is that it?
Yeah.
The croc de jour?
Yeah.
What is it? I know it's not. I didn't get it right. Tell me what. Shame me.
I'm not sure.
Shame me.
Croque monsieur?
Whatever. I thought you were French.
The toast of the...
I'm the toast of the Tinsels. Toast of Tinseltown. And they can hunt me. You know, I mean, like, I'm not the quickest guy at the moment, but I feel like I could be hunted.
Right.
Look, this is not what I want for us. You know, we're newly engaged, but that's why I'm planning for, and we still do the podcast, right? But this way we have, something solid coming in that, because I have to worry about you now. You're my, not burden, but, what's the word? Responsibility. They got
sure.
Look, I mean, I can't choose to not lick toilets just because I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like if we start a family, 40K could be the difference between, braces and no braces.
And what if we want to get like a nice Italian dinner sometimes? I'd rather have a nice Italian dinner once a month and eat shit every day than like have to forego the things I love.
Personally, I would forego the nice Italian dinner if it meant that you didn't have to be hunted.
Have you ever had chicken parmesan?
Yes,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's cheese. It's chicken. It's really good. This cat pie. You know what I found out?
What?
I found out where I am from after all this time.
Really?
I wouldn't say I've been lied to. It's just no one in my family seems to put the pieces together of where, my origin story.
I thought you were Gaucher.
Well, that's what I've been telling. I mean, look, we are Gaucher. It brings up an interesting question because the Gaucher doesn't exist anymore. It was squashed after World War II. It was divvied up by the UN. I don't know why. I don't think Gaucher was a hotbed of Nazi intelligence and Nazi high command, but they decided to carve it up and give it to you. I always thought maybe it was Yugoslavia or Herzegovina, but it turns out we were having Mother's Day dinner with my mother and my father and other family, and we're at a nice German restaurant, and we're talking about the Gauchers and my plans to somehow capitalize on the fact that I'm Gaucher, which seems hard. But I was talking about how I want to kind of use this built-in fan base,
right,
and marshal them. I mean, for all I know, there's 24 people in the country that have this distinction.
Yeah. So
it's not probably that fertile. But that being said, I just Googled where is it? And they're like, I don't know. I think it's Czechoslovakia. Yeah, it's not. I look at it's Slovenia. I'm Slovenian.
Slovenian.
Yes. Now, I don't know if I am Slovenian.
Doesn't sound quite as exotic as Gaucher.
Who's Gaucher?
I don't
No one.
I don't know. It's mysterious. That's
I'm the
why
most
it's so,
famous Goche, probably.
Yeah.
Now, who is Slovenian? The young, beautiful basketball boy, Luka Doncic. He's a massive star. In the Dallas Mavericks, he's tall and he shoots. Look at him.
Oh yeah.
Look at Luka Doncic.
You got to go back to saying you're Goche because
Well, I'm inviting a comparison.
you're not gonna be it's just you're not gonna be the most famous Slovenian with this guy around.
There's no benefit of being Goche. I mean, much like I'd rather eat shit for a year to get a little chicken parm hero. I'd rather serve in hell than wait. What's the expression? I'd rather go to hell than never have a job. Ever go to church, or I'd rather serve.
I'd rather rule in hell than serve in heaven.
All right, but that's a weird. Like, that's a moral for one guy.
Right.
That's a weird story. That Paradise Lost.
Oh yeah.
It's a very strange moral. Most people aren't making that choice. You'll get to rule hell. It's not about like, hey, if I kill my ex-wife, do I get to rule hell? No, you're gonna be a guy in hell.
Yeah.
No,
he's the guy who goes like, it's like he's like that Goggins guy who's like, it was like you can be a
Goggins. Walton Goggins.
Not Walton Goggins. The guy who works out a lot. And he has a really he's really ripped. And he's like a Navy SEAL or something.
Oh,
and he's like, you could have this body too.
You're talking about what's his name? God, who is this man?
David Goggins.
Bring this guy up. Is he the guy who shot Bin Laden? Oh, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Well,
this is the guy ruling in hell and telling you can too.
He's not ruling in hell either. Why is he even going to hell? I'm talking about a guy who shot his ex-wife. What did David Goggins do?
I'm just saying, saying that this guy, what is he, Satan in Paradise Lost?
Perhaps Lucifer.
Yeah, Lucifer.
Beelzebub.
Yeah. I'm saying he's saying it's better to rule in hell, like it's it's something everyone can achieve. Like these super
I'd
rich
rather
guys.
have a hot dog stand in hell than
Why?
Because I mean, look, that's not a bad job. You're looking down on people again. You do this sometimes. You're looking down on hot dog vendors.
No, look, I understand why you would want to be a hot dog vendor on Earth.
Because no one's gonna if it's hell, then people aren't going to 4-star restaurants. They're gonna be kind of like they'll be down in their luck. You know what I mean? They're all gonna be living in Lansing, Virginia or something. Or Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be very sad. And so, yeah, I'll be selling hot dogs and I'll be doing fine. I'll be able to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Cause that's the thing. Everyone else greedy. All these CEOs.
Who are all these people who get to eat hot dogs in hell?
Hot dogs aren't that great. You get sick of hot dogs real quick. All right, I don't know what you think now. Like you think it's like Kobayashi's going to be happy and everyone else is like, what do you look at Joey Chestnuts? The hot dog eating boys?
Right.
We should really do a mukbang.
Yeah.
I showed you some mukbangs.
You did. They're disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing is it's only skinny guys.
Yeah, and it's like that. Somehow it's like there's something so perverse about them.
Right.
Just
But I'm still jealous of their bodies.
I guess that's the better analogy. Those are the guys who are ruling in hell.
Sure. Yes, they're stars, but you have to basically you're probably doing permanent damage, but who isn't these days? None of us are Ted Cruz has probably got a nice Botox serum,
Yeah.
but we don't get that.
No.
We're not part of the inner circle. Now, if we get in with those Paul brothers and we start eating their toilets,
We got the foot.
I refer to it. I refer to it as eating your toilet. Let me eat your toilet today, sir. And it's like even though I'm not eating, I don't swallow it. Even if there's big chunks of shit there, I spit into the. I mean, I flush it first.
So you're kind of running a scam.
Hey, look,
You're like that Anna girl who kind of scammed her way
the one they made a Netflix show about
into the higher echelon.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a little bit. It's more like. It's more like when you go and they try to tell you can make money off direct marketing. It's like you can, but most people don't. And it's like I am licking a toilet, but I'm not eating shit.
Yeah.
So that if that makes me a liar, you know.
If you were sent to prison for that, the judge is just like, I can't believe how you took advantage of these trusting YouTube elites. You assured them that you would be swallowing their feces.
I never.
Instead, you regurgitate it.
Objection! I never specified that I would eat shit. I might have implied such a thing. I might have let something be assumed like that, but I never said I will. I will swallow the shit. Now here, and to be fair, when there's a little bit of shit, it was dirty. I'll lick it clean, but I'm not eating chunks of it.
Did you ever even stop to consider how your deception would injure these people?
They have so much.
Would injure their reputation.
They have everything. I have nothing. I quit my job for this. I had a good job. But yeah, I don't know. I think you think I shouldn't be Slovenian? I don't even know if I am. How does it work? If your country, when you're from a country that doesn't exist anymore. Like when my grandparents fled, I think it was Goche. So do I count as Slovenian? I mean, not that like it's a record of where you're from, like officially.
I mean, I guess you'd count as whatever it is at the time, present day.
All right, right? So if that's the barometer, then all right, play me the Slovenian national anthem. I want to hear this. I can't believe. I mean, like my grandma would go visit her twin sister and go over the years, and like she had to have been going through Slovenia. I mean, when did Slovenia get founded? I can't believe no one ever said, "Yeah, it's Slovenia now." It was always just like vague of like ambiguity. We're not really sure. It's Slovenia. What do you have there? You have something else?
I googled coolest facts about Slovenia.
Well, it's Luka Doncic. What else is cool about? Like, I mean, yeah, it seems like a nice place.
These are some weird things they've chosen.
Let me hear them.
They love bees.
Wait, not that they have a lot of bees. They love bees.
They love them.
The coolest thing about Slovenia is that they like bees.
Yeah.
It's not even like an attribute. It's like that's just a subjective thing. We happen to like bees. All right, that's not good or bad. That's just like a little weird. But okay, go on next.
Slovenia looks like a chicken.
I mean,
it doesn't really.
No, it doesn't.
I can see how if you squint, you could make that up.
They have one of the most sensational basketball players of this era coming from there, and they're listing their chicken shape on the map. Slovenia's only 30 years old. So is Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic isn't even 30 years old. Jeez, these people are not marketing themselves. Yeah, this guy, he might not win a championship this year or next, but he's a powerhouse. He was playing in the professional leagues in Europe at 16, winning European championships.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good, and they're listing this. There's more than 1,000 bears in Slovenia. I can't be part of it. This is, man. I mean, I'm rethinking my pitch to become Slovenian. Slovenians are adventurous, and it shows a picture of water. What does that mean? What the fuck are they doing? We drown our kids in the water.
The main traditional dish of Slovenia is cake.
What kind of cake?
No, it's not. They don't even say that. They say
a cake.
Is a cake.
What kind of cake is it? It's like, what kind of cake is it? Yeah, it's a cake. It's got the frosting? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is there like a really traditional way of making it? You just throw some cake ingredients.
Usually use eggs.
Sometimes chocolate. Sometimes vanilla.
We don't. Here's the problem. They didn't say Duncan Hines. I mean, this podcast is sponsored by Duncan Hines because why? Oh, because the icing effect of these YouTube adverts on my Slovenian discourse. I could have said so much right now about Slovenia, disparaging them, calling them all bee fuckers. Just fucking, hey, what are you gonna? We gonna eat some cake, motherfucker? I'm gonna yell. Actually, let's get Dallas Mavericks tickets where Luka Doncic plays, and I want to start screaming at him. Your country looks like a chicken, you scumbag. Oh, what? You like bees? when he's trying to do a free throw, everyone's like just going, and I'm like, B suck.
Go home to your land of 1,000 bears, bitch.
Exactly 1,000.
Exactly 1,001.
He was getting mad at fans last week. I saw.
Really?
I don't know what they were saying to him. Probably calling him a Nazi.
Yeah.
You know, they never say what people are yelling. You know what? When you're watching the game, it took me a long time to realize this, but like the audio will just drop out for some reason, and like now it's not silent, but it's just like, and I realize it's because like constantly players and people are just screaming obscenities,
yeah,
at each other, and it's just constantly have to like drop the, I guess the whatever feed that is.
Oh, like the audio of the
people
audience.
just constantly screaming, probably F-bombs and words, and all sorts of stuff. And we're awful people. I mean, you can't. We went to a Knicks game earlier in the year, and there was just some guys, like some kid was like talking shit to like, what was his name? The big guy on the Knicks. Julius Irving? No, that's Dr. J. But it's a similar name, Julius Randle, something like that. And I would love a Malice in the Palace to happen.
Yeah.
I would love to see that 14-year-old kid just get punched by that guy, right? And just all his teeth fall out. And I'm just screaming, yeah, Slovenia. The guy was on, like, that's become my thing in the NBA. I'll become the guy who goes every game, even if Luka Doncic isn't there, I'm screaming about bees. And I kill myself in the court. I just run into the court. Into the logo. Ritual suicide. Imagine if one of those guys who, like, you know how they have those people at halftime or whatever who like shoot the basket.
Yeah.
And like to win like money or whatever. Funny people, the guy just missed and he just shot himself. I wanted to clean him up.
That would be a great place to advertise the toilet liquor company.
Toilet liquor company? Oh,
yeah.
Wait, so your plan is for me to wait for some. So my toilet liquor company. Here's our business plan: is that we spend a lot of money going to NBA games on the off chance hope that someone also has the idea I came up with of first getting into this like shooting contest at halftime when it's not even televised. So why would it be that great of a thing? And honestly, it's like I'm seeing, but the other guy might also not realize, the flaw in the plan, just like I didn't, right? But it's not televised. So we're waiting for someone to be as stupid as I am, to have an idea as perverse as I am, so that once he shoots himself in mid-court, I can run up to his pool of blood and start screaming, what? Like, I have a company? Listen to me! Everyone's freaking out. They think it's an active shooter.
No, it's like you kind of run up and you grab the mic from whatever lady is holding it.
Well, it's probably in the hands of the guy who died.
Oh, yeah, so you pick it up.
Out of his pool of blood.
You pick it up out of his pool of
blood.
Right,
hello, listen to me. Calm down.
I have the script. I have the script. You go down, you pick it up from the dead guy, and you hold it to your mouth, and you go, has this ever happened to you? And it called Ray Kump's Toilet Liquors, and then you start looking up the pool of blood.
You are licking his blood. No one's gonna look. It's one thing to have like, me eating shit in the toilet, even though, and like, lying about that.
Yeah.
I won't eat the shit. But like, I'm some guy who's like some kind of half vampire, half cat, just eating some guy's blood. I will be put in jail. What are you talking about?
So what do you want?
You can't just go to a crime scene, even though it's not technically.
You want our children to starve?
I mean, it's just, you want me to be in jail forever?
How much chicken parmesan are you willing to miss out on?
I would do it if I didn't. I just don't see how it works. How's that advertise? That's not. At best, people are gonna think I'm a crime scene like eater. Like I'm like Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction. Just bring me to the fucking, and I'll just start licking the blood off of some like double homicide, and the guy's still there. I'm like, I'm just cleaning off. No, get all her blood and piss, eat it all. I'm like, I'll give you $100. And I mean, that's not what I like. That business, then sure, but I don't see how it correlates to toilets.
Yeah. Look, we might need some kind of certificate and forensic
and also, like,
crime scene work.
So is this? So you think in the midst of a giant arena, like Madison Square Garden, people are like, probably like shuffling to like the exits because you hear a gunshot, and I run up, even suppose I could get to the court where like security wouldn't like clothesline me, but I get out in the court and remove the mic from the pool of blood, and I start screaming, "Calm down, everyone! Has this ever happened to you?" And then and I just start licking the blood. I mean, there's no people aren't going to even understand that I'm pitching something. Are they going to think I shot him?
Maybe.
They're going to think I was a sniper who shot the guy, and they come out and go, "Has this ever happened to you?"
But we're going to get a lot of the people who are kind of comatose with fear. Not so much the people who are scrambling towards the exits.
Right.
But do you even want them?
No, I want the stalwart people who stay and just watch the man bleed out. That's my audience. That's who I speak to. Anyway. So, Slovenia. The Supreme Court is in the news, Lucie.
Yes.
Because what did they do last week? Don't say it. Don't say what they did.
They made a decision.
Which the Duncan Hines company would not want us to elaborate on.
Yeah.
But because of the decisions made, again, not related to Duncan Hines and their parent companies, what's going on here? Caught. People are protesting outside of Supreme Court justices' houses. And they're people getting very dodgy about it. They're getting very angry, upset. And what's your take on that?
Who's getting upset? I
mean, Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, sure.
And I think I don't know if it was everyone's, but it was outside Kavanaugh's house, and people keep saying his neighbors were involved. Like people think about his neighbors, like they're the ones who started the protest, but that's probably not. Like there might be one guy, a kid who
That would be great if it's two next door neighbors.
I mean, that is the narrative on Twitter, at least. I don't necessarily believe that. I feel like it's somewhere in between. There's probably one nutcase neighbor who hates him.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the kind of thing where it's like.
Do you think it's crossing the bounds of polite society?
Probably. I can't bring myself to care about that.
Right.
But
we should honestly at this point, because you go, if you do this, who's going to want the job? Look who wants the job now. On all sides of this, we should really just live outside of politicians and Supreme Court justices' houses. Yeah, we should just it should just be a constant they should be like the Beatles, but everyone hates them. Right. And not just because of the decision that Duncan Hines doesn't want to hear about, but just these people who just have lifetime appointments. They can make such a decision. Basically on the whims of I mean, it's just not. It doesn't seem like a practical apparatus anymore.
Yeah, look, at the very least, I think you can argue, you have signed up to audition for a lifetime of power. That's how much power you think you're worthy of. So maybe there should be some people protesting in front of your house. It's such a crazy amount of power to have for your entire life.
The Supreme Court only works for me if it's it's not really political to me. It's more if they're the ones protecting freedom in general, which historically I don't think they necessarily have the greatest track record. When you think of the whole time of the country, there's a lot of years where they were slavery's fine, right? Whatever. I mean, I'm sure a case came up where it was maybe slaves should or not, but it's probably not because it's in the Constitution. So they were out of luck there. But what's my point? Help me.
Something about the...
No, but I'm saying, look, if the Supreme Court defends a guy's right to have sex with bees, that, you don't want that. I don't want some guy fucking bees living next door to me. I don't want it. But that makes sense, right? And if you didn't support Trump, it's still the idea, they're just there making sure people don't overstep their... But when you start taking away rights from people, right, it gets more... It's not political. It's more the Supreme Court should defend the KKK's right to march. They would do that kind of thing, right? Back. I'm not saying they did historically, but that's the idea that okay, they're the ones who check government power. But it's just when you're just kind of going, and it's just also you finally get your conservative majority
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden this happens.
Yeah, like and also all of these people, Amy Coney Barrett, Brett Kavanaugh, they were also like, obviously all of us knew in actuality that they would jump at the chance to overturn Roe versus Wade. But when they were going through the confirmation, they were so coy about it, and like very insistent that they wouldn't change like foundational rulings.
Look, I mean, here, what do you think is going to happen when you make it very clear that you have a litmus test? I mean, if I go for a job and they ask me if I've ever gotten drunk and pissed all over in a subway and shit in the subway and got my sub and then threw it at the guy and said, "Make me another." Yeah. I would say no, even though it's true.
Oh yeah, look, of course, but it's like when you sign on for that.
I didn't ask for olives, and I clearly did, and I'm just throwing it at people. I'm just a disgusting animal, and I take a shit in next to the soda machine. Yeah. And if you're gonna ask me that, I'm gonna say no. Sure. So it's like, well, don't ask me that. Don't ask me questions you both know. We both know I did it.
Of course.
But don't ask me that question.
But I'm just saying, don't be surprised when you sign on for that litmus test and you pass it, and then you do something clearly partisan, and then people are angry. Like, it's like that it makes the public angry, right? Like,
they don't care.
Look, I'm not traveling to protest at anyone's house.
I mean, apparently they've agreed to like more security. I mean,
oh yeah, look, of course they did. That's the other thing. It's like these people always get what they need in terms of security. Yeah. So it's like
ex-Mossad guys to protect them.
Yeah. That's another reason. Like I don't give a shit.
Those guys are tough. Yeah. I wouldn't want to fuck with them. I mean, that's what it's like. They only trust Americans. I mean, I'm sure Delta Force, but it's like. But this thing, you want of the retired guys who come into the private line, you want the Israelis, right? Or maybe. Maybe some Ukrainians, they might be pretty tough. They seem pretty tough. Yeah. They're fighting that war. Sure. And no one talks about it anymore, really. And they keep saying they're winning, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's like people aren't quite disinterested yet, but you're starting to see the eyes of America glaze over a little bit.
No, they're pretty disinterested. I keep seeing these articles where it's like
glazing.
Like Ukraine repels these forces in certain parts of Russia. Like this might be the tide of the war shifting. And I hope it is, but like you gotta imagine Russia's like, I don't know. Is everything fake? It's supposed to have like 1,000 troops in the whole army. No, it's probably not true. I mean, those numbers. It's got to be at least 10,000, right? Yeah. What's my point? The Supreme Court.
Also, the other thing is like people. I do feel like this is one of those things that only the right bitches about. Like politicians have protesters in front of their homes a lot of times. Like I remember reading like several stories like over the past year or two about like Democratic politicians in New York having people in front of their house because people didn't like what they were doing, or didn't like what they weren't doing,
Weren't doing? Oh, right, yeah.
Like, but it does seem to be that like the right disproportionately bitches about this kind of thing because, and I think it's because like the right is way more into this idea of like,
I do hear the left.
Your home is your castle.
I have heard a lot of left people bitching about protesters. At those clinics that we can't mention, because of the Duncan Hines thing. Yeah, right. But when people would go to those unnamed, clinics of any kind and start like throwing rocks at women and telling them don't do this thing that we can't mention. Right. The left whined about that, but
oh no! Look, the left whines about right-wing people. Right. I'm just saying the right.
No, I was being facetious.
Yeah, but I would say like
it's not a direct parallel.
No. Look, I think arguably it is kind of.
I don't think harassing like 16-year-old girls who go into a clinic of any kind and. Look, I don't think it's the same as like just hanging out at Brett Kavanaugh's house while
me neither.
Shotguns a 6-pack and watches old episodes of fucking Matlock. Yeah, whatever he does.
Yeah,
what do you think he does for fun?
The pregnant teen and Brett Kavanaugh don't have like the same amount of power in society. I think you could say safely.
You could say, the white man, he's actually has less power. You know what I
mean? What do I think he does for fun?
Yeah, besides beer. I like beer.
I like beer. Do you like beer, Ray?
I'm not a big fan of beer. I mean, what's the one I like? Stella Artois.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
But I don't like all these IPAs and shit you drink. Disgust me. I'd rather have a White Claw. People say White Claws are like for Long Island bitches. Just dumb airheads. Just dumb pieces of garbage. But I like them. They're refreshing. And they don't weigh you down.
I feel like I feel like Brett Kavanaugh is the kind of guy who like looks into his neighbor's yard a lot. Maybe that's why they're protesting him.
I don't think it's purely political. He's peeping on the wives of his neighbors?
I just think he's the kind of guy
how
who, like,
deep of a tunnel?
Maybe his neighbor is like working on a deck extension.
A portico?
And he's just one of those guys who like he's just spying on them, just like seeing how big they make it and comparing it directly to like the local codes. And it's like if they go an inch over.
You know I'm in the Supreme Court, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do for a living. I mean, don't fuck it. No. I mean, I'm a judge. I can talk to the zoning board. You think he risks his potentially getting impeached from his lifetime appointment by like just threatening a guy directly? Like I'll talk to the zoning board and like tell him I'll tell him the Supreme Court will bring all this fury down on you if you don't remove his portico. I mean, I picture him digging tunnels like under his neighbor's yard so he can stare up at women's, legs and panties.
Yeah, you think he's that? You think he's that guy?
I think he likes the idea of like knowing that he's a Supreme Court justice, one of the most powerful people in the in the country, in the world, And I'm just like he's doing it. He's digging because there's a new trend apparently of men doing like amateur tunnels. It's a thing now.
Really?
Yes, and I've seen it online. I've seen people whatever. The point is he's doing it, and just to stare at these women, and he's not unself-aware. The whole time he's just like, "Oh my God, this is so insane! I'm a Supreme Court justice. Can you believe I'm doing this?" And he just it's exciting to him. Like he's like, "I can't believe I'm getting away with this. I shouldn't be allowed to do this."
Yeah. And
like he's drinking. He's got like beer, Schaefer's beers. He's just pouring them down his throat while he's digging a tunnel. He's just digging little holes, up top to see where he is.
Yeah.
He's got a little toilet paper roll or whatever, or paper towel roll. He sticks up like a periscope. Yeah. Do you think he had anything to do with Ginsburg's death? I mean, is that okay to speculate about? I have no reason to think he did.
It's just so funny to speculate about because she was so aggressively old.
Yeah.
It's so not believable that she would die of anything other than being old.
Right. Like, what was the cause of death? Was it just like her skin fell off? Right. Her pancreas just collapsed. Yeah. The dust that her eyes her skull is dust. Anyway. But maybe he was just that thing like in House of Cards where he throws it down the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. So anyway, but people are upset about the protests. I think it's fine. I mean, how much do you want? People can't, they're eating out of toilets and they can't mention, what kind of clinics they're talking about for fear of Duncan Hines. And you're mad about a little protest at your house?
Yeah.
Tell your wife, get one of those automatic garage openers.
No, it's just like...
Can you imagine if he drove over a protester? Like it did at Charlottesville, but it was Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court justice?
Oh my God.
I mean, you think he'd get away with it?
I don't think I would like to think he wouldn't be allowed on the Supreme Court anymore, but I don't think he would go to prison.
I mean, I'm just picturing it. And it's not, and they're actually they were already they were moving out of his way, but he just he stopped and he's honking the horn and they just start moving slowly. It's a big bunch of people, and he's just fuck this, and he just. And
it's not even political hatred. It's just pure drunken road rage.
It's just. I mean, look, honestly, it's not the only thing far-fetched about it is that he is a Supreme Court justice. Yeah. These things happen.
Sure.
This is done to protesters. And, I mean, how dignified is that guy?
Brett Kavanaugh?
Yeah, look, I don't think it's not
Not at all. Maybe the most historically undignified.
It's just he seems like
and what's his name was
Bill
supposedly showing porn to Anita Hill, so like it's a kind of a high bar to clear.
Right,
but probably historically the most undignified justice. Like,
wasn't there a pube on a Coke can? How'd that happen? Anita Hill.
Clarence Thomas.
Didn't they bring that in the court and say this is a Coke can that had the pube on it? Did he do that to her? Like he put a pube on her Coke can?
Well, I think
Who would do that? That seems honestly. Really? Is he that big? I mean, that just seems crazy.
Well, apparently he was like showing her porn at work and stuff. Like,
what's one thing to be like, hey, come over here. Look at this guy fucking this girl in the ass.
It's one thing.
but I mean, literally to grab one of your old pubes and like pull it out.
Really? I think the pube thing
is less severe.
And because
hold on.
Yeah.
We need a jingle for when Lucie has hot takes. This is insane. Yeah. I want people to just take a moment and realize how the bar that Lucie has set for herself to cover.
Yeah, to
clear is just seemingly insurmountable. Please explain to me how showing someone a piece of pornography is more severe than putting a pube on their Coke can.
Let's remember these are both happening in the workplace, right?
Sure.
So let's assume in this scenario.
And it was in the workplace is the Supreme Court? Oh, no, it was a federal court.
Federal court, okay. Yeah. So let's take as an assumption that it's like kind of a toxic work environment, right, already. Like things that shouldn't be happening are happening.
Sure.
Right? I could see a scenario where Clarence Thomas cuts a little bit of his pubes off, puts it on a Coke can, and leaves it in the break room, intending for a male coworker who he kind of shares a toxic sense of humor with to come in, see the can, see the pube, and be like, "Oh, you got me, man."
Okay, so
and then in a twist,
yeah,
Anita Hill comes in.
Hold on. I want you to realize the position that you put yourself into. What year was this? 1989 or something? 1990?
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever year. So you're that upstart. There weren't as many female senators back then, right? So you're the female senator who hears all this testimony and goes, "Miss Hill." I want to apologize on behalf, for my colleagues. I don't think you're lying. I think it's wrong to assume that. But would you entertain this thought experiment here? Perhaps, and then you explain your far-fetched story. What if he was just had a silly relationship with a male counterpart when they like to prank each other,
right?
And
exactly.
so he put his pubes on Coke cans. And so back to Lou. So that still doesn't explain how it ended up on her Coke can.
Well, look, Coke cans come from a common area usually, and that's the machine or the break room, right?
Did he rig the machine? Like he got in there and like put his pubes in there? Did he do this every day, hoping that someone would get pubes and then see the pube and then like, hey, is this your pube? And he finally be able to go, yes, and they'd laugh. This is insane. But I'm
imagining kind of a mini fridge in a break room. And maybe there's a Coke, that somebody's just taken out, but it's not open yet. Mm-hmm. And Clarence Thomas kind of sneaks in like the Hamburglar and puts his pubes on the Coke can.
Every day.
Not every day, just on this day in which he assumed his male colleague, who they prank each other, would be grabbing that Coke can.
How's that a prank? So he grabbed the Coke can and go, oh, you almost drink it. You go, oh shit, what is that? That's a pube? And he comes over to Clarence. Hey, Clarence, is this yours? And they laugh.
You got me. And they laugh.
You think that's more like that whole scenario makes more sense to you than like some guy who's just getting horned up?
It doesn't make more sense to me.
Okay.
I'm just saying I could see a more forgivable version of that story than just blatantly asking your inferior or your what do you call it? Subordinate to come over and look at your laptop because there's porn on it.
Well, look, I mean, in order for it to be less severe, the only thing that makes it less severe is that because you, as this strange, woman betraying senator, has injected that kind of poison pill or whatever. That what's that term for when you just kind of, well, maybe this happened, and you're like Johnny Cochran out there creating these weird scenarios. and like and like like it's.
Yeah, but
it's not better. It's only more deniable for you as a Judas Iscariot woman senator.
No, if anything, I would be the smart, crafty prosecutor of Clarence Thomas, where I would be like, look, there are some of these scenarios where we could perhaps chalk it up to some jocular attitudes between the male coworkers that Anita Hill just happened to stumble in on. But in what scenario is showing your female subordinate pornography jocular or could in any way be interpreted as
you're like an ADA, like an assistant district attorney?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm a district attorney.
Yeah.
Miss Lucie, come in.
Yeah, sure. I'm doing great out there, right?
You lost the case. Do you want to know when you lost the case of this Clarence Thomas thing?
Okay.
It's when you created a fantastical and elaborate scenario to take the blame off of Clarence Thomas putting pubes on Anita Hill's Coke can.
No, I wasn't taking the blame off of him. I was trying to lean into their argument.
The jury
and pull him back.
The jury believed your story.
Like tug of war.
The jury believed your version that you told them. They think he was just doing pranks. Yeah. I asked them all afterwards. They said, "Oh, well, the prosecutor said he was a prankster."
Yeah, but I really hit him on the porn thing, right?
They forgot about that because I mean the real visceral thing here was the pube on the Coke can. It's so weird. It's so out of left field. It really grabs the imagination. The porn thing is not, correct, but this is the pube thing. They didn't go home and tell their family, I'm on the fucking porn trial. I'm on the Coke can pube trial. And that's what it's really hinged on. And when you lost the case because of your craziness. I want you to know that. Anyway, apparently Susan Collins. Who is Susan Collins? She's like a Republican. Something.
She's like a pro-choice Republican, I think.
Is she?
Yeah, I think so.
But she chose that,
or maybe she ran on a pro-choice, a more pro-choice platform or something.
She called the cops because someone left a message. Let me bring this article up. I'm gonna bring it up because someone chalked a message out of her house. Susan Collins calls the cops over a polite abortion message chalked outside of her home. A Republican U.S. senator called local police to investigate a pro-Duncan Hines forbidden right, but otherwise harmless message written in chalk in front of her home, according to authorities. The Maine senator, Susan
Collins. Wait, like sidewalk chalk?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, well,
Dumb bitch.
Who?
Susan Collins.
Oh, yeah. No, the cops came and said, it's not crime. What did the thing say? It said, intricately drawn and non-threatening. Susie, please, Mainers want WHPA. Vote yes. Clean up your mess.
Wait, really? That's the message?
And she called the cops.
There isn't even... Wow.
And she ordered the cops to shoot whoever they found. I mean, I don't know. I guess, look, you do have to worry like that. I could see myself writing that. Not me. I would never do anything. But I could see someone writing that and then, showing up later with a hatchet and cutting her in, killing a dog.
Yeah.
You got to cover your bases, I guess. What? You think she shouldn't have called the cops? What should she have done? Just got a hose?
Yeah, I guess if you just hose down the chalk, where does it end?
Your color, you use nice. You probably lives in a nice area. It's just colored chalk. It's going to make that smear it makes when you put a hose on it.
I'm guessing this is an area where they don't allow children. Because sidewalk chalk is pretty popular.
Yeah, they probably allow children. I don't know if she lives in a... I don't think she lives in a fucking... what do they call this place? What's that place that sex people go to? The erotic Club Meds.
The people live there?
Well, they're resorts for sex swingers.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she lives in a condo in the middle of a sex swing resort.
No, I just imagine her
Where are children not allowed to live? What are you talking about?
I just imagine her living in a gated community full of childless old people.
She probably lives in a nice house because she's a senator and she makes tons of money that she shouldn't have.
They can have nice houses in a community.
Not like that. Look, no one who makes a lot of money wants to live in like my grandparents had a place that was like it was a house thing, but like, you know, yeah, like we were describing, but like, they didn't have the money. The senators have money. They want children around as a sign of affluence.
I'm just saying, kids like sidewalk.
I still see my grandkids because I'm a successful senator, and you're just some fucking schmuck who worked for the deli. You know, that's that kind of gimmick.
I get that.
That church.
I
See that whatever Protestant church she goes to, screaming at someone because they fucking, you know, Susan Collins got mad because, you know, this kid was grabbing the Eucharist and not eating, he was playing with it. Right? Mm-hmm. So it's just tell your kids to put that away. Put that in their mouth or throw it out. And then they, what?
I'm not following this.
I'm saying, and she got into a little fight with someone in her church at my point, and she just started going, "You some deli bitch."
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm a fucking senator.
Totally
I'm a fucking senator. You work in a fucking deli.
Sure.
What's my point here?
I don't know.
Oh, and then she brags, I can still see my grandkids because I have money.
For the record, I also think Susan Collins lives in a neighborhood with children.
Right. All right.
I agree on that. Probably fact. But
are you just saying it to appease me? What?
But yeah, it's just anything to not talk about the actual thing itself.
Don't say the word.
Yeah, it's anything to not talk about the topic that has been censored by Duncan Hines.
We're gonna lose $6 if you say the word.
It's just like, oh, well, this person's now experiencing like predictable political consequences for making a decision that divides the whole country. You know, like
the situation's a real abortion, if you ask me. Anyway, what else we got? Teens are having a mental health crisis. You were telling me.
Yes.
Explain this to me, please.
Apparently, I've been reading about it now for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
In the papers.
Mad Magazine.
Yeah, apparently all the teens are going mad.
What? That pun?
No, it's just a stupid response. Saying the same word 2 times in a row isn't a pun.
Go on.
Anyway, teens are having a mental health crisis. Yes.
Explain this to me.
They're very upset. I was reading a New York Times article about it that got really weird really fast. But I don't know. Have you really not heard about this?
I mean, teens are just whiny in general.
That's true.
They're always going, I'm going to kill myself. Love me, give me everything. Oh, nothing's going to work. The girl I like thinks I'm a fuck. I kill dogs. And like, why'd you think that? Because she saw me hitting the dog once. And like, all right, well, I mean, like if it was my kid, I'd be like, well, you know, look, you shouldn't hit dogs. That's for one. 2, if you're going to, don't hit them in front of girls you like. I didn't know she was there. Well, yeah, look around first before you hit a dog. Make sure the girl you like isn't looking at you. And 3, just move on. You're not going to win her over now.
Yeah.
You've already hit the dog in front of her.
Right.
So this is the kind of problems kids have. Or like my parents are on drugs and they beat me. Things like that.
Right. But apparently suicides are going up. Self-harm.
I mean, have they tried going to church?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe
church
that's what
is
church
great
is
for that kind of thing. Church will, maybe it's, the drugs aren't as good these days. They're all like methed out on, amphetamines. It's not cool to smoke pot now. I mean, people still do it, but like it's not like you get to drive around a Firebird and listen to Aerosmith, like in the beginning of Dazed and Confused, you know?
Right.
It's not Led Zeppelin. It's just like, it's Cardi B and the guys from Maroon 5. There's nothing cool anymore. The jacket's cool. What are you looking at?
Do you want to hear about this story?
I was vamping. Yes, tell me about these real problems.
So this is like the first 3 paragraphs of this this article. One evening last April, an anxious and free-spirited 13-year-old girl. Those words kind of contradict each other, but okay. Aren't anxious and free-spirited kind of the opposite of one another? I
mean, no, I think anxious, like, I'm too anxious to, follow any social norms. So that people call me free-spirited when I'm really schizophrenic.
Fair enough. In suburban Minneapolis, sprang furious from a chair in the living room and ran from the house. Out a sliding door, across the patio, through the backyard, and into the woods. Moments earlier, the girl's mother, Linda, had stolen a look at her daughter's smartphone.
Stolen? Oh, wow, what a creep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The teenager, incensed by the intrusion, had grabbed the phone and fled.
Yeah.
Linda was alarmed by photos she had seen on the phone. Some showed blood on M's, that's the teen's, acronym.
Why is she taking pictures of her blood?
Some showed blood on M's ankles from intentional self-harm. Others were close-ups of M's romantic obsession, the anime character Genocide Jack, a brunette girl with a long red tongue who, in a video series, kills high school classmates with scissors.
Yeah,
I feel like one of those things is more important than the other. The
anime. Well, the anime caused it, probably.
I don't know.
I like this idea that content never gets people to do stuff ever.
Yeah, but that sounds cool. If I were a teen girl, I would be into that. And
I don't know, but it's also the lines of reality are blurring. I mean, I'm never going to believe it never happens. I know the studies say people who play violent video games never do anything, but I don't know. It just seems like there's got to be a certain class of people who do crazy things who just I'm
just saying, but it's we don't even have to question, is this going to cause this girl to self-harm? Because there's already pictures of her cutting her ankle.
Well, maybe she got the idea from the anime because, what's the name?
Yeah, but it's
Betty Beat Clipper?
It already happened, so one of these things is clearly more important.
If you kill the anime out, maybe she'll cut out hurting herself. And why is she taking pictures? That's the thing. She's doing it for,
yeah, I mean, look
what I did. It's
people take pictures.
Of what? It's but that's putting a news store and going imagine putting a noose around your neck in the garage and taking a picture, showing your wife, going, I might do this. I don't know.
I mean, I think some
come back to me, or look at this.
I think some forms of self-harm are more kind of intriguing, potentially intriguing to others than some, right? If you're bulimic, nobody wants to see a picture of your vomit-covered toilet. That seems
if I was a young girl, that'd be a mistake I would make.
Yeah.
That'd be my cry for help would be I'd wear a vomit-covered shirt, dried vomit on my shirt. But that's how I would seek attention. Not by sending my crush pictures of my bloody ankles, but by wearing a vomit shirt.
Yeah.
To the teen dance.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me in. They go, he's coming to vomit. Or she's coming to vomit.
Yeah.
And I go, don't worry about it. It's not your problem. I would have any good response. I'd be why are you worried about it? Right. I was it was a kid. I was just no, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't have any kind of witty response to it. Ask me now. Come to me.
As you?
I'm saying, if I'm wearing a vomit shirt,
okay.
to show how much I've evolved.
Hey, you're covered in vomit.
What do you make, $10,000 a year? Go fuck yourself. You tell me I can't wear a vomit shirt. You don't they make you not mention the Holocaust anymore, and you just let them? You're still a teacher, even though they won't let you mention slavery. You worry about my vomit shirt. Go make it $10,000 a year somewhere else. My face. That's what I would say. But the kid, I'm saying this kid can't. Are you following this?
Following what?
What we're talking about.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, good. I'm not. Kids were depressed. Right, okay.
What do you think? What do you think would help with the teen mental health crisis? How would you fix it?
Well, just make them get married.
Make them get married.
I mean, look,
to each other.
Whatever they want. They can marry a fucking a guy or a girl, or they can become trans. But they have to get married.
Yeah.
What if we just? I mean, technically it's allowed, or not technically. I mean, it's allowed. It's legal. But I mean, what if we gave all the rights to everyone? The bathrooms, Can't say anything bad, right? Like all that shit. What do trans people want? Job equality stuff that kind of comes up, I guess.
Jobs,
everything you can.
I
think
guess
of.
on the extreme end, being able to compete in like sports.
You can play in the NBA. You can play against LeBron James, but you all have to get. Like, I'm not saying just trans. Everyone, but and like women can, women can be coal miners. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Everyone can do everything.
I think women could already be coal miners.
I mean,
but
where are they then? Yeah. I'm sorry if you listen to us and you're a woman coal miner. Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. But my point is, everyone gets everything, but you have to get married. Does that fix America?
Arranged marriage.
Not arranged, but like it's just you have like it's kind of like when you have to pick a partner in Top Chef, and like you can't like you're not gonna you can't just do it by yourself.
What do we do to the teens who refuse to pick?
Put them in jail. Look, you have to do something and not have the other thing. Yeah, I mean, that's the implication. You go to jail. I don't want that. So get married to anyone, not things. I'm just saying, could it fix the mental health crisis in this country if we force people to and look, there's not a lot of houses left, but maybe we can get trailers. We can build a lot of trailers maybe in the woods. Or like Arizona, perhaps Utah. But you all get to live somewhere with someone who is your partner.
Right.
Come on, meet me halfway.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that working.
What are the downsides?
I think the downsides are when people are forced into partnerships.
Right.
That can actually accelerate depression and things like that. I don't know if it would really. I think it would cure a certain amount of disorder, but not necessarily the feelings.
You would cure some disorder?
Yeah. The feelings.
I'm not sold on that. But
the feelings of chaos, but
sure,
it wouldn't necessarily cure the depression.
So you be someone who hates her new partner.
Okay. I don't want to be married.
I'm the state mandated marriage deputy.
Okay, I don't want to be married. I don't like this person.
You picked them. You agreed to it.
Yeah, well, you told me if I didn't pick someone, I'd go to jail.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, not you particularly. Everyone. Those rules apply to everyone. Why did you pick such a shitty partner? What's wrong?
I
with
don't
them?
know.
What is it? A man? Is it a woman?
I'm 14.
No one said 14. I said 16. I was 18. 18, really.
18. Well, by that point, people are trying to figure their shit out.
But if you know you're gonna be married, it's gonna be fine.
It's 14-year-olds who are.
There's gonna all these people go. No one's ever gonna love me. Well, you're forced to have someone.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's the light at the end of the tunnel.
Look, I was never troubled.
What if you're forced? Sorry, go ahead.
I was never troubled as a kid. I actually was enjoying my freedom as a young person.
Yeah.
I was popular. And I was looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm sure you loved wielding your power over the girls who weren't popular, throwing shit in their hair.
No, I was very nice. I was actually.
No, you weren't.
I was actually voted the nicest person in school.
Your presence, your fucking, your charmed existence made other people feel bad, and they cut themselves in the ankles, and then they took pictures of it, and they watched animators about killing people like you.
I started a mental health outreach group.
What is that? That's just
a club.
That's just a resume patter. So you can go to fucking, you go to Pace University.
Yeah, you're right. But but anyway, I don't want to. This guy's weird. I don't know. Like 4 years ago, he seemed like an okay choice.
So kill him.
I'm allowed to do that.
I mean, just don't get caught. What do you want me to do? I make fucking $30,000 a year.
So we're gonna rely on
the teachers make 10, I make 30.
So we're gonna rely on spousal murder to kind of smooth out the kinks in the system.
I mean, try to make it work, and then whatever. I don't care. I'm not gonna arrest you. Unless you rub my face in it.
You're the Tim Gunn of forced child marriage.
Tim Gunn.
Tim Gunn.
Wait,
Project Runway. You just quoted him. Make it work.
Oh, that was him?
That was his big phrase.
That was someone's big phrase? The guy from Project Make it work.
Make it work.
That's like someone. That's not even like, that's just going like, hey, you see some bum on the street, you go, hey, make it work. You give him like $1, you go, hey, figure it out. I should have a show like that where I just tell homeless people to improve their lives.
Yeah.
Throw money at them. Just like Tim Gunn. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
You got anything you want to mention?
Check out the Patreon.
Check out our Patreon. It's the links in the description. You get an extra episode every week for $5 a month. Great deal. So we'll see you in a day or two for the Patreon. Otherwise, have a great week. And we enjoy all of you. We appreciate you all.